I welcome you all to this lecture related to the course that is History of Arabic Literature. Today we'll be talking about the Arabic language and literature in general as to constitute introduction to this topic. Arabic as a classical as well as modern language encompassing a vast geographical arena and successive historical periods occupies a significant position in the language map of the modern times. Here some statistics regarding Arabic language would be significant. It is the international language and the third most widespread official language after English and French. If we just look at the native speakers, we'll be having 411 million, that is 5.1% of the world population. They are the native speakers, epicenter chiefly around the Arabia and Arabic countries. Then we have the non-native speakers that amounts to 770 million as L2 language to users. Since it is a classical language which is still flourishing in the modern times with its long history and legacy, it has the standard version, standard language. Besides the dialect, standard language is known as Al-Fusha, as we know, while the dialect is known as Al-Amiya or Ad-Daraja. It actually varies from geographic region to region. Rather, sometimes we have the variants within a vast or big country like Saudi Arabia. So we're having the dialects. The official language of 22 countries in continents of Asia and Africa. This is another significant part of the statistics. The countries in Asia that have Arabic as official language are Bahrain, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, United Arab Emirates, and Yemen, while the countries in Africa are Algeria, Chad, Comoros, Djibouti, Egypt, Eritrea, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Somalia, Sudan, and Tunisia. It is one of the official languages of the United Nations since December 18, 1973, after the UN General Assembly adopted Resolution 3190 to include it as an official and working knowledge. So these are the primary statistics related to Arabic language. Since it is Arabic is it's among the classical languages related to the Semitic group. The pre-Islamic history is divided into, related to the Arabs, is divided into three segments. The Arabs are usually classified into three segments. The first segment is known as Al-Arab al-Ba'ida, the instinct Arabs, who are no more. They don't figure in the present map, in the historical map or geographical map as of now in Arabia or anywhere in the world. They are Ad, Samud, Tasm, Jadis, Abd al-Dakhm, Imliq, etc. They have been mentioned in some historical sources, as we find mention of them in some religious sources, including the Holy Quran. In the Holy Quran, Ad and Samud have been mentioned. So they are the instinct Arabs. They have been. We don't have traces of them, except maybe some some minor traces which have come to us in modern times after archaeological excavations in different parts of Arabia, or some monuments which have been discovered lately, of course, like those in Saudi, in the Tabuk region, and those in Oman, modern day Oman, related to Ad, in that specific geographical segment that is shared by the great desert in Saudi Arabia. Then you have Al-Arab Al-Ariba. They are the original Arabs recorded by historians, whose traces are not only the traces, rather their legacy is available, is found not only in history, rather it has been extended to the modern times. They are known as the Qahtani Arabs, the original Arabs who inhabited Yemen. Then we have Al-Arab al-Musta'riba, that is the Adnanin, who have become Arabs, means they were not the original Arabs. Actually, the Arabs, the peoples of Arabia living in the modern day Yemen, or which has been mentioned in ancient sources, including the Greek sources as Arabia Felix, they were the Qahtanis, whose ancestor was Ya'rub ibn Qahtan. The Adnanis who lived in the area that we find now in Bilad al-Sham, primarily Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, present-day Jordan, and Iraq, part of Iraq. They were the Adnanis. They had migrated to Arabia, to that region, that is Najd and Hijaz. And here we find their population is spreading. They had actually learned Arabic. Since they had learned Arabic, means Arabic was not their mother tongue, original tongue. That's why they are known as Al-Musta'riba. Al-Musta'riba من أصبحوا عربا، يعني لم يكونوا عربا في الحقيقة، وإنما استعربوا، تعلموا العربية فأصبحوا عربا. They are primarily the descendants of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. So just some historical glimpses about that. Now, Arabs had, usually there are some stereotypes regarding the Arabs in Arabia or the Arabian Peninsula in general, that they were simply the Bedouin peoples, and they had no permanent settlements or the social or political organization, or what actually constitutes civilization. So this is sometimes projected regarding the early Arabs. Well, I think this is one of the stereotypes which must be demolished from the historical point of view, of course, because we are concerned with the Arabs and Arabic. So the simple thing is that rather sort of question if we can have certain examples of kingdoms, empires, states, city organizations with their citadels, with their sometimes the magnificent constructions, buildings, the archaeological remainings of which is still found available in the geographical map of Arabia, then we can hardly subscribe to the idea that they had no civilization, no culture, no political organization. So In the pre-Islamic period, regarding Arabia, we find a kingdom of Saba, that is 1000 to 800 BCE. Then we have the Himyarites from 110 to 575 or 578, 110 BCE to 575 oblique 578 CE. Mamlakatu Saba, as it is known in Arabic, and Al-Himyariyin. Then Al-Anbat, the Nabateans, 3rd century BC to 106 AD, Al-Anbat. The Nabateans in the Petra city, as the exhibitions are over there, very magnificent. It is now one of the, it's part of the UNESCO's World Legacy, World Heritage. In modern day Jordan, Petra city, that was the capital of the Al-Anbat, Mamlakatul Anbat. Then you have the Lakhmides, the Tanukhides, the Manazara, Al-Lakhmiyun, Al-Tanukhiyun, Al-Manazara. They stand for the same, all these three terms stand for the same entity. They are positioned between 266 to 618, that is AD. They were found, they had their capital in modern day Iraq, between Saudi Arabia and Persia. Then you have the Ghassanids, Al-Ghassasina, Mamlakatul Ghassasina. They were the Christian rulers. They had their kingdom between 220 to 638 AD. Then we have the Al-Lihyaniyin, the Lihyanites, at Al-Ula in modern day Saudi Arabia, in Tabuk region, 15th century BC to 1st century BC. So these are the historical facts, and in view of which we can hardly subscribe to this idea that Arabs had no political establishment or no idea of state or empire, because simply they were the Bedouin peoples. No, this cannot be substantiated in view of the historical facts. Coupled with some other historical evidences, as we know, they are related to some far more, we don't say it antiquity, rather some early epochs of human history, like the Babylonian culture, the Babylonian civilizations, or rather the series of civilizations we have in Babylonia, and the Aramaic civilization and culture, Al-Hadara al-Babiliya, Al-Hadara al-Aramiyya, Al-Hadara al-Finiqiyya. The Phoenicians were epicentered in what you can simply or approximately locate in modern day Lebanon. Then, of course, we can give some examples, although it will be a little bit far stressed. The example of the pharaohs, Al-Fara'ina. Why? Because all these civilizations are related to, they belong to the same entity, that is the Semitic group of languages, culture, and civilization. There is another significant thing in this respect, and this again augments the view, rather the argument, that Arabs had their own political entity, rather many political entities, organizations. So in as we know, there have been the Byzantium influence in Arabia. So there were many city-states, in Arabia, usually designated as the Byzantium states. The archaeological sites of which are still they just beautify the cultural map of Arabia in modern times. We can have another very pertinent example that is found, that is rather part of the Arabic poetry, pre-Islamic Arabic poetry. We all know about Imrul Qais. Imrul Qais was a poet who belonged to a that is very respected household of rulers from Al-Kinda. So we have the Mamlaka of Kinda, which is now designated as, identified as that entity known as Qaryatul Faw, that is located in Saudi Arabia. We can have some examples of that, some images of that in later moments. So this pre-Islamic history just showcases the significant position of Arabian peoples in the political map of the well, won't be using the word Middle East because it happens to be the modern terminology, rather in the map of Arabic language and literature. The post-Islamic history is usually classified into the classical Arabic, that is pre-Islamic to early Islamic periods, from pre-Islamic period to 610 CE, that is the Nubuwah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This period is known in Arabic sources, basic Arabic, primary Arabic sources, as Jahiliyyah. It has nothing to do with jahl or ignorance. Rather, this is a specific term which stands actually for that period, and it depicts, it just represents the Arabs of pre-Islamic era, not purely in theological perspectives, rather in some sociological and sociometrics of the culture and the cognitives before Islam, related to the rate of education, for example. Since the peoples residing in the Najd area were usually cut off from the political entities or the cultures we have seen in areas like Kingdom of Saba that happened to be in Yemen. Himyarites were they also happened in Yemen. The Lakhmites, they were epicentered around Medina, modern day Medina, around modern day Medina. Then you have the Ghassanids who were in Syria or Bilad al-Sham. اللخمايتس والخميون المناظرة في العراق، بينما اللحيانيون إنما كانوا في العلا، يعني في منطقة تبوك في السعودية حاليا. إذن ما نقول أن غياب السلطة السياسية أو الإمبراطورية في سياق الجاهلية أو غيرها، كما قلت أن هذا لا يرتبط أصلا بالمنحى الديني، وإنما له علاقة بالظاهرة الاجتماعية والعمرانية والثقافية العامة. فمقارنة لما نجد في المناطق الأخرى في اليمن وغيرها، ومقارنة لما كان يوجد في بعض الجاليات اليهودية والمسيحية من التعليم مثلا، من العلم، من المعرفة، فنجد أن الذين كانوا يقطنون في هذه الأقطار الشاسعة من نجد وغيرها، هي كانت بعيدة عن مراكز العلم والثقافة، من هنا الجاهلية. يعني في سياق التاريخ الأدبي والفكري لا نقول أن هذا مرتبط بالجهل مقابل الإسلام. هذا شيء. Then we have the early Islamic history, 610 to 660, 660, early Islamic period. This period consists of the beginning of Islam, Prophet of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, extended to the Khilafat Rashida, followed by the Umayyad period, 661 and 600 to 650. Then you have the Abbasid period, 650 to 1517. Then the Ottoman period, 1219 to 1922. That actually heralds the beginning of the modern period, followed by a modern period that starts from, in the Arabic perspectives, Arabic historical perspectives, it starts from 1922. In the backdrop of the World War and the emergence of the modern world order as per the political initiatives and decisions taken regarding the Middle East. The post-Islamic period, we can see how was the spread of Islam, and here Islam means that segment of Arabic language that is related to the ideology or the theology that is Islam. So we can simply say that in the post-Islamic period, up to the Umayyad times, Islam, and in this context, it was the Arabic language. It has emerged as a big factor, very significant factor that spread to a wider expansion of geography, reaching up to Transoxiana, that is the areas we have now in Central Asia, Samarkand and Bukhara, all of Afghanistan, and all of Iran, Armenia, and besides the main Arabia, that is Syria and Iraq and Hijaz and Yemen and Hadramaut and Oman, etc. To another segment that is related to Africa, the African continent, that is Egypt, just going to Tripoli, that is Libya, then the Maghreb region, extending to the Andalusia, that is Spain, which was which in that period had no nomenclatures or geopolitical nomenclatures such as Spain and Portugal. So it was Andalusia, consisting of the modern day Spain and Portugal. So we can have this, just see this, this grand expansion in a relatively very small period in terms of history. Arab as official languages, as we have seen, we can just figure out the reality, understand the reality in the world map like this. So it covers a significant chunk of Asia and Africa as official language countries. As official language countries, again, it is we can see the names: Somalia, Yemen, Oman, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Sudan, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Mauritania, and some other countries, Chad, Djibouti, etc. So the lecture regarding the introduction to Arabic language and literature, or تمهيد اللغة العربية وآدابها, will be focusing on topics such as the Arab world, Al-Jazira al-Arabiya, geography of Arabian Peninsula. Al-Jazira al-Arabiya Tarikh, that is Arabian Peninsula history. Al-Nizam al-Qabali, the tribal system. Al-Lughat al-Samiya, Semitic languages. التطور التاريخي للغة العربية, historical development of Arabic language. تاريخ الخط العربي, history of Arabic letters. Then تاريخ الآداب العربية وأنواعها, historicity of Arabic, تاريخية الآداب العربية وأنواعها, historicity of Arabic language, literature and the literary genre. اللغة العربية بين التأثير والتأثر, Arabic language and the questions of interaction. الشعر ديوان العرب, poetry as diwan of Arabs. النثر, that is prose. مصادر الأدب العربي, primary sources of Arabic literature. Followed by قضايا التوثيق, issues of authentication. So these would be the perspectives where we will be having in our minds when interacting with this great, with this significant, with the basic theme, that is history of Arabic literature. And of course, alongside that, we'll be dealing with some notions or some questions related to the origin of Arabic language and literature, and some misplaced notions we are having, or some people among us have regarding Arabic language and literature. Here the first or the primary submission based on my own conviction, based on my study, is that we must not confuse between historicity of language and literature, the scientific evidences of language and literature, and some assumptions which have crept to us, to our minds, in some context, sometimes related to religious culture, or some information fed in the context of religious injection, although after scrutiny we will be finding that these things have nothing to do with religion as such, or religious injections as such. So among it is the first question, that is it historically true, proved scientifically, that Arabic is the oldest language in this world? This is again one question we'll be dealing with. Of course, we have the history and historicity of Arabic language and literature, starting from the pre-Islamic Arabia, then the modern post-Islamic period, and we have all these historical information, all these legacy that posits itself as a very powerful, very significant segment of humanity, of human legacy throughout history, in the domains of philosophy and poetry and scientific literature, mystic literature, pedagogical literature, the glimpses of which we'll be just witnessing in the lectures to come. But again, if the question is like, is Arabic the oldest language in this world? So this is again a subject that we'll be dealing with in our second lecture. So here we conclude the first lecture. Thank you very much.